What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you my top tips to improve your performance in Season 3 Go Battle League. I've broken these down into kind of 3 categories, and I also take notes. I took some notes, so you know it's pretty official here. First category is going to be gameplay, so what gameplay things you can really improve on to help your gameplay and improve your rating. This category is called system. Going to be talking about the actual Go Battle League matchmaking system and some things you should be aware about that. And then the final category, which make sure you stick around for this because there's going to be some tough love involved, talking about the right mindset and attitude that you kind of need to have to improve in Season 3. Really quick, if this is your first time checking out my channel, just some of my credentials to know that I somewhat know what I'm talking about here, but again, just take this all just purely as my opinion here. But I finished top 10 in the world in Go Battle League last season, as well as I'm well within the top 100 in the world in Sylph. So I have put in a lot of hours, a lot of battles, studied a lot of simulations here, so I do somewhat know what I'm talking about. But again, these are just my opinions on ways that you can improve here. So in the background here, you'll notice that you'll see some battles, just some battles in the Great League using some different teams, and these battles are all against my patrons, so thank you all for supporting the channel. So first couple tips I want to go over here regarding gameplay. You need to understand the resources that are out there to help you improve in PvP, in Pokemon Go PvP. Best possible resource you can check out is pvpoke.com. What can't you do on pvpoke.com? It's got the rankings tab where for each different league you can sort by all the different leagues and see which Pokemon are in the top of that league. You can go to the battle tab and simulate a battle between any 2 Pokemon with any different IV combinations, any different moveset combinations. There's a team builder tab where you can plug in a bunch of different Pokemon and it's going to rate how strong that team is. It's also going to tell you what that team has weaknesses to. So very helpful resource there, pvpoke.com. Also, what do you think about this in close and personal camera view for this video? Kind of exciting. But other resources, go on YouTube, check out some other content creators. There's a lot of great ones out there. I'll try to pin some content creators down in the comments section or in the description of this video. Also, make sure to check out a bunch of us on Twitch. If you have not gone to twitch.tv and checked out some Pokemon Go streamers, you really need to give it a shot, because I think one of the best possible things you can do is watch some top battlers battle live and actually try to get in their heads and figure out what they're thinking when they're thrown with certain situations. So pvpoke.com, best resource you can use, and then YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you're watching other top battlers and trying to glean some insight from them as well. More things we need to be aware of. You got to know your typings for Season 3. You just got to know your typings if you want to start improving your score. You need to know which things double resist other things, which typings are kind of neutral interactions to each other. Know your super effectiveness, and these can just easily be done by Google searching Pokemon Go type effectiveness chart and just studying this stuff, putting in the time, understanding at any given moment if you're thrown a steel type, you know, what's going to counter steel? Okay, fighting, fire, ground. You got to kind of know just very quickly what is going to beat what, and this is really going to help your gameplay decision making as well. You need to know your move sets. You need to know which move sets are the recommended move sets for the particular Pokemon that you're using. Again, all this information can be found on pvpoke.com. You also need to know the move sets of what Pokemon the movesets of the Pokemon that your opponent could be running. So this is, again, we're going on to pvpoke.com and studying the rankings tab and figuring out what the most common movesets are. Very important, but also understanding what possible moves that Pokemon could have. Just in case someone's running an off-meta moveset, you don't want to be totally taken off guard by that. So studying that is going to be very helpful. You got to know your movesets. as well as understanding the top picks for each league. Again, go into PV Poke and you'll figure that out. Energy cost of charge moves. Man, this is important stuff. I've seen a lot of streamers and a lot of other battlers, like some people say that they play totally based on feel. That is only going to get you so far. Like, you kind of need to understand energy cost for these charge moves so you can start understanding the fast move counts. You're going to be able to keep track of your opponent's energy if you know how much energy, you know, like a powder snow does, or an ice shard does, or a razor leaf does. If you kind of have these numbers stored away in your head, or you know the specific fast move counts to get to specific charge moves, it's really useful. Again, this stuff can be figured out on pvpoke.com in the battle simulator. And anytime I'm doing a battle, I'm always trying to out loud count my opponent's fast moves and always get as much practice as possible getting comfortable with those energy generations for the moves. So you got to know your counts. And if you know your counts, you're going to know when you can farm down a Pokemon and not have to throw a charge move, just purely fast move farm them down. You're also going to know when you're going to need to pull off a sacrificial swap. So sacrificial swaps are sometimes very difficult to execute, and they are very reliant on you keeping track of your opponent's energy. Essentially, what a sacrificial swap is, you pull a swap into one of your Pokemon at the precise time that your opponent is throwing a charge move to avoid being hit with super effective damage. These can be very effective and essentially give you almost like extra shields because that's wasted energy that your opponent is throwing. Again, it all comes down to really knowing your counts here. Another thing you need to be aware of, the IVs of your specific Pokemon. Man, IVs matter in some of these matchups, especially Master League. You always want a hundo, but go on to PvPoke, plug in your specific IVs, see if there's any different like bulk points or break points that your specific Pokemon is meeting. See how it compares to a maximized IV spread of that particular Pokemon. Know your Pokemon inside and out, know the IVs that you're running, and know how that's going to affect different matchups. Again, this can all be found on pvpoke.com. Team building. Okay, team building, again, you can use the team building tab in PvPoke, but you kind of need to understand like what makes a solid team. Typically, you want to choose a lead Pokemon that covers a lot of the most meta matchups that you'll see in whatever particular lead you're battling in. And then the two Pokemon you want in the back need to cover that lead's Pokemon's worst weakness. So sometimes what you see is like a very kind of baity team. For example, you could use the Caleb, Peng, Skarmory double grass line, right? Skarmory, Shiftry, Meganium. I consider this a very baity team, meaning that you're going to use Shiftry as your safe swap in order to bait out a potential flyer, and what this does, it allows Meganium to roam free in the back. So that's kind of a baity team. I've also seen this done with like Skarmory double Mudboy, where you're trying to bait out the grass. For me personally, I like to run teams that whatever Pokemon, I like to have a good safe swap. So that's going to be a Pokemon that's with an energy advantage, can flip a lot of matchups. Azumarill is a really solid safe swap. Not a lot of things hard counter Azumarill. Same with Vigoroth. If you remember the the battles team, Skarm lead, Vigoroth safe swap, Whiscash in the back. That's a great example of a team that really covers the lead well, because Skarmory's worst matchups are going to be against the steel types. Both Vigoroth and Whiscash handle those matchups very well. This last thing regarding gameplay is knowing when to undercharge a charge move. This is tough, man. And honestly, the only way that I can tell to like really get a feel for how much damage that your undercharge is going to do is just by practicing it. There might be a mode in PvPoke where you can like undercharge your charge move and see how much damage it does. I haven't looked into that quite yet, But there are definitely times where undercharging is the right play. If you undercharge your charge move, it's going to leave your opponent with just a little sliver of health. It's going to allow you to farm more energy before KOing your opponent's Pokemon to get more energy for that next matchup. Very difficult to like correctly pull off, but it is a skill that if you start practicing it and being aware of it, it is going to help you in some of your matchups for sure. All right, this next category of tips I have is kind of regarding the Go Battle League system that's in play. As we know, well, honestly, I'm still not super familiar with like how all of the nitty gritty that's in the matchmaking, but some things that I've learned just in my personal experience. The queue times, oh man, the queue times can be crazy long. Again, I finished the previous season at 3314, and at that 3300 range, it would sometimes take me up to 4 hours to find a battle. I'm not sure if this has been confirmed yet, but what I have noticed towards the end of last season is although my queue times were very long, I was never getting paired up against someone that was significantly lower rating than me. So I feel like Niantic might have changed the matchmaking bracket for ELO range that they pair you up against with, meaning there's no really need anymore to go in and out of the queue like every 10 or 30 seconds. Honestly, at this point in time, I think you can just sit in the queue, and when someone is within your range, you'll get paired up against them. I've already noticed very slow queue times just being in rank 5. But this is not confirmed. This is just kind of what I've experienced. Another tip I have, especially as you're getting closer to rank 10, or if you're discovering that the queue times are excessively long, is to space out your sets throughout the day. Don't do all 5 of your sets back to back to back to back, because you're essentially running out of people within that pool of rating range that you're going to be able to get paired up against. So if you kind of space them out throughout the day, you're going to have more of a likelihood to be paired up against people within your rating range and not play the same person twice, because who really wants to do that? So those are some tips I have for like within the system, and feel free to post some comments down below, maybe some tips that you guys have learned along the way to help improve all of our gameplay. Everyone can learn something. All right, you guys. This final part of the video is talking all about your mindset and your attitude when playing this game. I would just like to start off by saying rank 10 is earned. It's not freely given. So if you're sitting there and you feel like, you know what, I deserve rank 10. None of us deserve rank 10. Rank 10 is hard to achieve. I was in a Twitch stream, and in the chat someone posted that rank 10 was too easy for them to get, and I couldn't believe how arrogant that sounded and how rude that kind of came across, because rank 10 is difficult, man. If it was easy for you, props to you. I know it was really difficult for me, and I have spent hours and hours and hours practicing, running simulations, team building, studying move sets. Like, I've put a lot of time into it, and I know a lot of you out there that have also hit rank 10 have put a lot of time into it. Rank 10 is not easy, and you gotta earn it. But there's probably a lot of you out there as well that you might be thinking that you're not capable of hitting rank 10, and I think that is complete bullcrap. I think everyone is capable of hitting rank 10, but you gotta put in the time. You have to put in the time. You need to practice. You need to know your matchups, know your movesets, study these simulations. It's going to be difficult, but everyone is capable of doing it. You just need to, again, put in the time and practice smartly. Here's another tip I have, and I've seen some streamers do this, and I think it's not healthy at all. Stop complaining about the lag. We are all playing the same game. Yes, this is a laggy game. Yes, it has a lot of problems. And while it is beneficial for us to voice our complaints to Niantic to help point out the specific problems that are in the game, it is not beneficial to yourself or to anyone watching to just sit there and say, oh, I only lost because of lag. I only lost because of lag. I'm not going to hit rank 10 because of lag. If I didn't lag, I would have won. Like, what good is that doing other than just continuing to spread negativity and just making excuses? And excuses kind of get you nowhere. Understand that, yeah, sometimes you're going to lose because of lag. Just kind of put it out of your mind, accept the fact that, yes, current state of the game, still laggy. We are all just hoping that one day Niantic is going to be able to fix their servers and make PvP very crisp and clean. But quit using lag as an excuse for all your losses and for the reason that you didn't hit rank 10. Another tip here, study more, practice more. I already mentioned that, but I have put in tens of thousands actually of practice battles, and I don't even know how much time that would equate to of just battling, not even studying. It takes a lot of time if you want to be at the top for sure. Here's a tip I have: don't play when you're tired or when you're upset. At least for me personally, man, it takes all of my mental concentration, especially at these upper battles, to get wins. The battles are very close, and it really requires 100% of my attention. So I would not recommend, if you're really trying to push high up there, don't play when you're distracted or when you're tired or when you're upset. Take a break a little bit. And if you start, going on a losing streak, maybe take a little bit of a break. If you feel your emotions starting to kind of rise up, take a little bit of a break and just remember, it's only a game. Also, man, we're getting some frame rate drop on some of these battles. Hopefully it's not too bad and you guys can still see what's going on there. But understand, this is a mindset thing. There is always something to be learned. I don't care if you're watching a rank 8 player, a rank 2 player, a rank 10 player, or the best player in the world. There's always something to be learned from those battles. And man, I can't tell you the number of YouTube comments that I get sometimes when I'll feature someone else's battles and just complaining. Oh, this person made this mistake. This person made this mistake. Yep, people make mistakes. And by learning from those mistakes, you're going to get better at the game. So there's something to be learned from everyone's gameplay. If you're watching a video and that person is making a mistake, in your own in your own mind, you can kind of further reinforce the good decisions that should be made. And if you're watching a top level player and they're making a lot of good plays, take note of the plays that they're making and try to replicate that in your own gameplay. At the end of the day, it's just a game. Right? At the end of the day, this is just a mobile game. We are just sitting here tapping on our phones. So try your best, and this is words of advice from me as well. Try your best to not let a game cause you an excessive amount of emotional distress. Games are supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun with it, maybe take a little bit of a break and just understand it's just a game, man. We're just here to have fun. Yes, we want to be competitive. I'm very competitive, so I get upset if I start doing badly, but just, take a break, get the emotions back in check. Don't dwell on your losses. Don't just say, if only I had done this, if only the game hadn't lagged, this would have happened, and learn from your mistakes. That's really all the tips that I have in this video. I hope you guys found this video to be helpful and man, we're all pushing for rank 10. I think everyone out there wants to be rank 10, but it just takes a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, a lot of determination. Always feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. I get a lot of DMs every single day, but I do my best to respond to every single person. I wish you all the best of luck in your rank 10 journey. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate this content, and I will see you in the next video.